Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Space Weather. I'm your host Dan, aka smAsho, and lots of stuff to blast through today. Some interesting stuff about space, a frontier. Let's get to it. Here's the sun at 94 angstroms. Active region rising in the east. If I was a betting man, I would say that is a sunspot. We're down to a sunspot number of 11 right now. As sunspot 2781 sets, sunspot 2782 has already completely degraded to the point where it's no longer got a name. So today's a Sunday early edition. We've got a strong low pressure system over the Great Lakes region. We'll talk about how the Thule Cosmic Ray Monitor is trash and the smash forum. All that and more coming up. The 10.7 centimeter radial flux is now at 80 solar flux units. Pardon my epic pen interruption. And let's get to some more stuff here. There's your 1 year graph on the radial flux courtesy solon.info. And you can see we're still at the highest levels we've seen since October of 2017. Solar flux units 80. That is a measurement of the 10.7 centimeter radial flux, the radio output of the outer solar corona. Next, we've got some fantastic helioviewer movies, as always. Here's the first one. It's the local yellow dwarf in 171 angstroms. And you can see quite a bit of filamentary activity here all around the limbs there, at pretty high latitudes, an indication that the sun is ramping up in activity, and for that, we thank you. And here's the same view in 304 angstroms. I would note a significant plasma filament right up here, right in this area. You can see it pretty well in this helium emission spectral line image. 304 angstroms. And next, we've got some close-ups here, some zoom-ins. It's the southern hemisphere. Nice view of sunspot 2781 setting there, and we've got close-ups of that also coming up in a minute. Here's the northern hemisphere, and I put the Earth right by that filament. That filament, the part that can be seen over the limb there, is about 12 Earths in diameter. It's a significant filament. A bunch of ionized helium hanging out up there. And let's take a closer look at the active region, which is rising in the southeast. There is that, along with the still active region, the remnant of sunspot 2782, closer to the center of the screen there. And again, I would definitely believe that that rising region there is a sunspot. If not, it's definitely a large set of fields. And last but not least, we'll do the extreme close-up. First, let me check the life of the stream here. And here is sunspot 2781. As it sets on the western limb, it remains a sunspot. It's got one large umbra. It's south pole oriented. Just a fantastic view here in 171 angstroms. Some interesting tornadic-like filament activity there to the south of it. Small coronal hole trailing it also. And indeed, there is a relationship between sunspots and coronal holes. We'll talk about it on a later video. Now, today's Smash Lights will be postponed. We'll actually make this one later. It'll be a separate video. We'll give you a couple teasers about it. First of all, we'll be talking about some some new financial stuff, and also, hey now, what's going on there? There we go. Don't forget to check out smAsho.com. We've updated the homepage yesterday. You can find all of our social media links underneath this arrow here. But if you scroll down, you'll see the old links to the smAsho forum and the smAsho store and the other Smash store. We've also put our latest The Sun videos up on the homepage. So if you haven't checked those out, just head to smAsho.com and you'll see them posted right on the homepage there. smAsho.org presents The Sun, and smAsho.org presents The Sun 2. And that one was just uploaded yesterday. If you haven't checked those out, please do. Also, check out the forum. We've recently updated that. More on that in a minute. A few minutes. And we've also updated the merch. So the links to the Smash store and the smAsho store will take you to these Teespring stores. Are you safe yet? Well, perhaps pick up one of our cloth face masks and convince COVIDiots in public that they're safe because you're wearing a mask. And we've also changed the other one, the smAsho store and the Smash store. Here's the other one. We've got this new mask here, Condensed Matter Matters, as well as this shirt. And check out this shirt. It's fantastic. It's printed on both sides. And you've got the sun/condensed matter on the sleeves. Absolutely fantastic, beautiful shirt. Here's the design from it. We've made a simulated cutaway of the sun here, showing the idea that perhaps it's made of condensed matter. And since condensed matter matters, don't forget to head to smAsho.org, smAsho.com, etc. And please consider supporting the channel via the links at those locations. I see what's going on. Just bear with me one moment, folks. I just got to make a little change here. There we go. And thanks for leaving a comment, Uomo177S62. No, I don't want to become famous. I only want to become rich. Thanks for leaving a comment. Please don't put links to do fraudulent things on our comment feed or you will be banned. Yes, banned. By the way, I would invite all of our viewers to also follow us over at Instagram, instagram.com/smashamash. If you enjoy the content on YouTube, press like and subscribe over there. Thanks to our new viewers, etc., for tuning in. And don't forget to check out the videos that we just uploaded. And of course, we're on BitChute as well. BitChute.com/smashamash. We're on Facebook. We're on Minds, which is the alternative to Facebook. If you're sick of Facebook and the ridiculous censorship over there, check out minds.com/smashamash. And we've got exclusive content on all of our sites. We are on Twitter also. You'll have to follow us there to figure out what we're doing, because we don't want to cover it here and create unexclusive content. Yes. So check us out on Twitter. And if you hate Twitter, there's a Gab alternative, gab.com/smashamash, the alternative to Twitter. So perhaps check that out as well. It's good times. I would also invite all of our viewers to check out our Discord server. If you're not familiar with Discord, it's for chatting. It's essentially a chat room that's permanent, and you can find that at discord.com/channels/smashamash. That'll be a new thing we'll be featuring. It's like it's a chat room basically, and you can also do voice chats in there and so on. It should be fun. Discord.com/channels/smashamash. Now we are streaming live today to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/smashamash, and I guess that's enough websites to expect somebody to follow the content. Thanks to our Twitch subscribers, of course. And again, don't forget to tune back into the channel to see today's Smash Lights segment. Now today we are going to do a cosmology segment, and it's an interesting one. Now I rolled the dice before I played the video today, and today's quantum random number roll yielded a 279. So if you're wondering what that is, it's OJ287, BL Lacertae object. And it's an interesting one in that it's one of the most massive, quote, black holes, end quote, black holes in the entire universe that we know of. There's a zoom in on it on Aladdin. And here are the X-ray transients from J0853 plus 1941. It's a pretty consistent X-ray source. It does have an interesting periodicity. And if you're wondering where it's located, here's the galactic plane. And here's a zoom in on that object on Aladdin. So OJ287, believed to be 3.8 billion light years away. It is what we would call a quasar, and it's a special kind of quasar. BL Lacertae objects are quasars with a very variable bandwidth and frequency range. Yeah, and this is on the list of the most massive objects in the entire universe that we know of, which has prompted us to update smashomash.com/forum. Yes, if you haven't been there, smashomash.com/forum. You can link directly to it from the homepage at smAsho. And we've put up a new article here, actually a couple of articles about Ton 618. If you want to read about that, smashomash.com/forum. Let's cover cosmic rays. Here are the last 30 days at apatity. It's this pane here. This pane here. That's a 30-day chart. And you can see a slight downtrend at apatity over the past 30 days. Here is the flat chart of Barentsburg for the past 30 days. Next we'll look at Athens, Greece. I apologize for that temporary aside. What the heck is going on? Here at the Smash News Network, we try to remain patient with websites that don't load or that contain nonsensical data. And since that website's not going to load at all, let's move on to what I was going to talk about how the Thule neutron monitor is garbage. So here you go. Here's the data from the Thule neutron monitor. And, I mean, really? People that argue with me about how the cosmic ray flux is not... People argue with me about the fact that they're trying to cite a bunch of BS that the cosmic ray flux now is currently higher than it was around 2010, which is simply not true. Look at this utterly bunk data. Does that even have to be debunked? That's just bunk. Look at that crap. That's total nonsense. That's the 1 month resolution. Let's look at the 1 year resolution. Maybe that's better. Loading, loading, loading. It's certainly not better. It's not even showing us the image. And if you believe that that's good data, I don't know what to tell you. Perhaps take a statistics class or learn the first thing about the physics associated with cosmic rays. And here ends today's cosmology segment. Let's move on to more data. Here's the real-time solar wind information. We did see a little spike here. Looks like a little coronal mass ejection must have struck. And current solar wind density just under 4 protons per cubic centimeter. Current solar wind speed 311 kilometers a second. And we did see a little spike there. Solar wind speed went all the way up to 460, as high as 474 there. And then dropped right back down as if we got a little bit of coronal ejecta. KP index back down to 0, coming off of a 2. Here's 4 hours of data from the Space Weather Modeling Framework, courtesy University of Michigan. And this is what the geospace pressure would look like. The magnetohydrodynamic pressure. Magnetohydrodynamic pressure. Try to say that fast 3 times. Magnetohydrodynamic pressure. Magnetohydrodynamic pressure. Magnetohydrodynamic pressure. I think I did it. And next we'll look at ground magnetic perturbations. I thought we would look at ground magnetic perturbations. Where did they go? Oh my God, where did they go? They've vanished. Let me get that loaded back up for you. I don't know what happened with that. We'll bring up the ground magnetic perturbation map. We show it daily, mainly because we are living through a polar excursion. Most of us are, at least. Congratulations on surviving so far through a polar excursion and so far through a scary, spooky pandemic. Here's 4 hours of, I think it's 4 hours of data. 4 hours of data, ground magnetic perturbations. Not a lot to speak of there, as we don't see a lot of protonic induction causing magnetic perturbations. Proton flux is pretty flatlined here. And there's there's the graph I was going to show you. If you're up before dawn, you may see Venus, the third brightest object in the sky. Here's where stuff is in the solar system. And by the way, everybody who thinks that when Jupiter and Saturn align in our sky, that means something, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. We're going to be halfway across the solar system when that occurs, right on or near the solstice, actually. And yeah, when they're aligned with each other in the sun, it has an effect on the sun's barycenter. However, when they're aligned in our sky, that means that they're aligned from our perspective, not from the solar system's perspective, which is, by the way, heliocentric. There's where things will be in a week. Here's the GOES magnetometer, and we're going to continue to see spiky readings on this unless we see some changes, especially activity in the northern hemisphere of the sun, which we haven't seen any of for quite a while. And we are currently in the north, the north solar polar oriented current sheet shown here in green. Next, we'll look at the coronal hole field plot, the line of sight coronal hole plot, which shows north polarity coronal holes in green, south polarity coronal holes in red, and the sun's B field in blue. And here's another view of the same area here, but line of sight field plot showing the Z fields, the solar polar fields in green and red, north and south respectively. Here's a potential field surface source line chart visualization of the solar corona. And I would note the time and date stamps up there. This is like 3 days worth of data. And let's talk electrons. We don't see any charging hazards right now. We're in a quite low level of electron flux here, and we're expecting it to be level, at least according to the NOAA forecast. You can see we've had quite cratered levels of electron flux here, pretty weak Van Allen belts, and we see some anomalies. Here's a visualization of the whole air column. And this will give you an idea of things like GPS and communication errors. And we are seeing anomalous data here. We're seeing high nighttime electron flux as well as big blobs of high electron flux over northern Canada and North America, creating some perhaps surprisingly significant GPS errors. Turn on your Wi-Fi accuracy for your GPS if it's not working well, and then turn it back off again, because certain companies like Google are spying on you with that and providing warrantless information about you. Next, looking at just the ionosphere layer. Ionosphere is looking a little bit anomalous here also, and we typically see we see more anomalies with very low electron flux, perhaps giving us some insight into the physics of how Earth's geomagnetic field is generated and so on. Here's the latest image. This is courtesy of Australian Government Bureau of Meteorology, and you can see how charged up the ionosphere is here at nighttime in the southern hemisphere. By the way, thanks to our patrons, the true source of funding for the content. We make almost nothing on YouTube, Google, Junkware, Fraudware, AdSense, and I won't get into conjecturing about why that is. I guess the channel just sucks, but apparently our patrons don't think so. So thanks for contributing, patrons. Again, you're the true source of funding for the content, because we make about 2 cents per hour via Google Fraudware AdSense to make these videos. So please share on your social media, even if you're not willing to open up your cobweb-encrusted wallet. By the way, congratulations on being made of condensed matter. Condensed matter matters. Go check out our merch if you're not willing to become patrons. You can link to all of that stuff at smAsho.com. You're condensed matter, I'm condensed matter, stars are condensed matter, quote, black holes, and, quote, are condensed matter. Cheers! And thanks again to our patrons. You can become a patron and get some perks that you would not otherwise get at patreon.com/smashamash. Let's do a rundown of the volcanoes currently erupting. Suwanosejima is producing a 6,000-foot ash plume. Dacono is producing a 6,000-foot ash plume. Fuego is exploding, producing a 15,000-foot ash plume. I think that's an uptick down there in Guatemala. Revenador, mild explosive activities producing sporadic emissions of volcanic ash. Please don't fly a hang glider over the caldera. And Sabancaya is exploding, producing a significant ash plume. It's 26,000 feet above sea level at the top. Please don't fly your John Denver-style ultralight helicopter or airplane over the caldera. We need the views on YouTube. Next, looking at the jet streams of the eastern world. Check out the extreme meridional jet stream flow around Bermuda. Actually, that's nowhere near, that's way south of Bermuda, but quite a significant bend there. The jet streams have still not flattened out. I don't care what YouTube channels tell you that it has. I just look at the data, and I could really care less about people's reputations, especially if they're citing a bunch of nonsense. Here are the jet streams of the eastern world, and check it out. We've got some extreme flow here once again. If you see the jet stream going east to west, that's not normal. Let's get into some more meteorology stuff here. Check out the low pressure system over the western portion of Lake Michigan. And look at the pressure gradient line. Whoosh, massive pressure gradients created there. Let's see where those move by tomorrow. Here's where we're expecting those to be tomorrow, Monday at noon. It's going to move off quickly to the northeast, it looks like. There's the Euro forecast for tomorrow. Here's the GFS forecast for tomorrow, very similar, as some high pressure moves in over the central Rockies. Next, looking at earthquakes over the past 24. I'm finding out about this at the same time you are. And what do we got? It looks like a lull in earthquakes, although we see a deep one at Fiji. It's at nearly 600 kilometers and a 4.7 magnitude. Otherwise, it's a downtick in earthquakes. Deep quake at Argentina, it's only a 4.3 magnitude, as well as a nearly 100-kilometer deep quake at Chile at a 5.1 magnitude. I think that may be one of the largest of the past 24. Let's scroll up the list. Here's a 5.0 at depth near the Ryukyu Islands at Japan, 108 kilometers at a 5.0 magnitude. Small deep quake strikes Alaska. 4.6 magnitude deep quake strikes Papua New Guinea. A 5.1 at the Philippines. Nearly 100 kilometers depth, so a bit of deep earthquakes kicking off here. And let's check lightning, as we do most days. Let me check my hairdo. Oh yes, it's perfect. It's perfect. And I like to use lightningmaps.org. I'm ham-fistedly pressing buttons. Lightningmaps.org. I don't think the data's loaded here, as we've seen thunder. Significant storms here around Detroit. It looks like the lightning has chilled out. Next, looking at the U.S. Doppler radar map. And you see that very concentrated band of storms there, moving all the way from East Texas all the way up to Lake Huron and so on. And it's going to continue moving due northeast. Here's what's going on in the cloud layer. I would note a lot of low clouds here over the Atlantic and quite a bit over the Gulf of Mexico as well. Back to a lot of low clouds. Here's the water vapor map, and we'll zoom in on the central U.S. to give all of you central U.S. types a little more insight into how these systems will move, since there are some significant storms kicking up. There you go. There's the current state of affairs on the water vapor map. And this cold air moving in from Canada is going to continue to interact with this northerly, northeasterly flow. And that's what's creating those massive pressure gradients. Hopefully that helps you if you're wondering where the storms will move. By the way, thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks for flying American Smashways. Please keep your head and arms inside the Smash plane at all times. We've got a bonus of features. We're going to show you the 193 angstroms view, as we've got a few coronal holes kicking up. We're also going to show you the colorized magnetogram and the intensitygram to see the state of affairs when it comes to sunspots. As sunspot 2781 sets, there is its magnetogram, and it's just about out of sight. We should still be able to barely see ombre there. And here's this active region rising. Not enough information on that yet to see much. There's the setting umbra of sunspot 2781. And there's that active region. No ombre visible yet. Here's the 193 angstroms 48-hour SDO video. Oops. We are out. Look for another video coming out pretty soon. It'll be a Smash Lights segment. Thanks for tuning in. Please visit the links below the video. Visit smAsho.com. Pick up some merch. Consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/smAshomash. And may that solar wind be at your back.